So let's go to custom. Lots of precipitation, no standing water. So here's what I'm going to do now. Okay, I want to have lots of rain, lots of rain. Okay, and I want to start with a optimum level grip, so the track is rubbered and completely dry. Okay, okay, so I want to do this, and of course I'm gonna start with slick tires and see what happens. Now we have a completely dry track and lots of rain. Okay, so we're gonna go in. Oh, look at that. Go drive instantly.
Green light. Give it all you can.
On the safe setup, who cares? Actually, it got us. They gave us. Okay, let's go to aggressive. Slick tires. Okay, so it rains a lot. Let's go. And let's see what happens. So it's still slick tires. You can see that I can still control the car. But it's raining, and in very fast we're gonna have big issues controlling the car.
Low tire pressure. Stay away from
So
birds.
what is going to happen right now? Now we have the car, the circuit that is rubbered, so there's lots of grip. Okay, there's lots of rubber on the track, and now it rains. And as you can see, I'm starting having big issues controlling the car. Right? It doesn't even. Oh, look at that! I cannot even brake. So it is extremely. Look how. Wow. Whew. Okay, so it really is slippery. It's extremely slippery. What can I do? First thing, go grab some marbles. You know, those tiny little rubbers that they are at the side of the road. Second thing, get out of the racing line. Go just a little bit wide. Brake outside here, like this. You see, I can brake. Again, outside of the racing line. Cross the racing line. You see, I have traction here. Now here you can't do anything, so you have to be very careful because it slides extremely, so much slide on the racing. Now outside the racing line, I can still brake the car and slow down. You see, yeah, I got it way too much, but I believe you understand what I mean. So if I'm on the racing line again, look how it slides, and then as soon as I go outside the racing line, I have grip again. Now, not anymore. Obviously, it gets worse and worse and worse because we are on slicks. So let me show you this in replay from the outside that you can understand what I did. Okay, let's go like that and have a go. So, as you saw, the circuit was still dry. Okay, so I had good grip, but the rain was quite hard. So staying on the racing line, I'm starting sliding around, you see. When I'm going outside the racing line, I have a tiny bit more grip. Not too much, but it is, you can understand it. Again, going into the racing line here, but this time, you can see, I cannot even stop the car. You see, I'm going wide. I'm sliding around, but once I'm outside the racing line that is here, again, grip, okay? So, on the racing line, braking, going completely wide because I cannot stop the car. Look how slidey the car is here. So, for example, let's go back, okay, and see this at a slower speed. So, I don't know, guys, if you can see my mouse. Yes, I think so. But this is the racing line, right? Cool. Now, as you can see, if I go close to the racing line, I start sliding a lot because I was braking on the racing line. Now, once I'm outside the racing line here, the car regains some grip. We're not talking like, there is no grip and there is full grip. There is very low grip and there is some grip. This is what's happening, okay? Now, here again, not only I'm over the curb, which is extremely, extremely slidey when it rains like that. So don't go over the curbs as much as possible. But now that you can see that I'm trying to accelerate, here's the HUD. I'm trying to accelerate, and the car slides while I'm on the racing line. Okay, look how it completely slides away. Okay, sliding away comes out from the racing line. The racing line stops around here, and here there is no racing line anymore. Okay, and look at this, and now I regain control again because I get some grip again. Moving forward on the racing line again, back, and you can see the car already starts sliding again. Just accelerating straight. Look at this, it's terrible. So now I'm outside the racing line and I have some grip. Look at that. On the racing line now, while I'm accelerating, and you see difficulties to control the car. Now, again, you can see here, braking is fine when outside the racing. Now we are exactly on the racing line, and look how the car completely slides away. Okay, outside the racing, we can control the car. So it's not like that you have to be here, okay? But if you know that the racing line is here close to the curb, just stay a little bit outside. Give it a car width, Stay a little bit outside so that your outside tires are outside the racing line and get a tiny bit less slippery surface of the asphalt. Now look at this. We are going completely outside the racing line. We are not staying here. Okay, we will stay here at the inside of the road, and we will try to brake as late as possible, as if it goes, the dry line. So let's see what will happen. You see, I'm braking now at the start of the curb, which means I'm braking at my dry line reference points. Now, obviously, I have less speed because I'm going slower, but still, it's too late for any. If I started braking this late on the racing line, I would have ended way too wide and long into the brake distance. But here, outside the the racing zone, here what happened. I have grip. I can brake sooner. Then, obviously, here I am obviously I have to cross the racing line, and you can absolutely check. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, damn, I've lost it. I don't know where I am. Okay, I was a little bit behind. Sorry about that. So you see that here I'm just crossing, because this is where the racing line comes in. You see, this is where it is. I am crossing it, and you can see the car sliding straight. It instantly loses grip from the front tires as it crosses the racing line with all the rubber and oil, and slides straight. It goes outside here and regains grip again, and I can finally make the turn. You see, now I've crossed it again, and I've managed to put the car at the inside, and now I have traction to accelerate. You see, I can accelerate. Now going again into the racing line, all right? Again, slides. Look at how the car slides sideways, and goes also into oversteer and all that stuff. Now, obviously, you see how it slides on the racing line. Now, the problem is, of course, so Aris, are you saying we should drive, outside the dry line? No, it's not possible. It's not like that you're going to be faster like that. Now, what happens is that when the rain starts and the track is completely rubbered, then going outside the racing line, braking outside the racing line helps you brake better and possibly helps you accelerate better. But is this the fastest solution? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe only for the first 2 or 3 laps, because this condition uh, happens for about 3, 4 laps. Okay, but then if you have many cars going around and you have lots of rain, at some point they clean up the racing line. The rain cleans up the racing line, and you can use the racing line again because there is no rubber. Now, I admit that this might happen way too early in Assetto Corsa Competizione. Usually, after 6 or 7 laps, you won't have as big problems as now. But it was the best that we could do with the technology that we're using right now. I think we are doing something that hasn't been happened before. And my advice is that for the first 4 or 5 laps, try to find the grip. Don't go on the racing line. Try to find the grip. At some turns, you cannot do differently. It doesn't mean that, if you are always going to do outside the racing line, you're going to be faster. No, at some turns, it's simply impossible to do something else. But what you could do, and we will show you in a minute, is that you can stay outside the racing line and then slowly go to the racing line and do the turn, and then try to stay a little bit at the inner side to get some traction if you can. uh, so let's see that again. Here, outside the racing line, I can brake almost on my dry reference point, and you can see I can do it. Now I am crossing the line because here is the racing line, and you can see the car sliding way out. So I've lost it here. So uh, this is actually what happens. Okay, this is actually what happens in Assetto Corsa Competizione. How else you can do it? At some point after the initial downpour of the rain, uh, as I said, at around 6 to 7 laps, if you have many cars and you have lots of rain, it's gonna clean the racing line, but it doesn't clean it completely. Okay. Uh, if you try, you will still see that if you are try to brake outside the racing line, you might be able to brake a little bit sooner. So this is interesting because it means that you could try either overtake or defend by staying outside the racing line. Okay, even if the racing line is clean, you are going to get a tiny bit more grip outside the racing line, but it's not the fastest line anymore because it's clean, and using the actual wide outside before turning, inner at apex and outside at the exit again, this is going to be the fastest way around the circuit. But if you have someone behind you want to defend, the inner one will give you even shorter braking distance if all the circuit is wet. Okay.